Hey, welcome back to the Bible Reading Project. It is Tuesday, and we are hoping to inspire you to read the Bible every single day. This week, we are reading Luke chapter 24 as we go through the journey over the next couple of weeks of taking a look at the last chapter of each gospel. And we're hoping, as we dig it out, to dig out what it means to own our 50 feet. It's something that we do here at Believers, that we're inspiring people to own their 50 feet. That's our ministry. And so let's just take a look at how we can own our 50 feet in Luke chapter 24, starting in verse 8, and then we're going to read all the way down to verse 11. Then they remembered that he had said this. So they rushed back from the tomb to tell his 11 disciples and everyone else what had happened. It was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary, the mother of James, and several other women who had told the apostles what had happened. But the story sounded like nonsense to the men, so they didn't believe it. I want to leave you with the thought and the challenge of this. Are we willing to live out the resurrection power even though it sounds like nonsense? Here was this group of women. They went to go visit the tomb of Jesus. They saw that it was empty, that his body wasn't there anymore. And so they were sad. And then a man reminded them of what Jesus said, that on the third day he would rose again. And so because they remembered it, they had to rush back to present the gospel, to present the good news to the men. And they didn't believe it because it sounded like nonsense. And the reality of it is that the gospel is nonsense. It's nonsense to tell me that the only way that I can experience a better eternal life is that I accept this one man. It's nonsense to tell me that I have to put all of my wants, all of my desires on hold for this king that I've never seen or met. It is nonsense to tell me that I have to go and worship him with everything that I got. It's nonsense to tell me that I can't live the way that I want, but I have to live to these rules, to these ancient rules that were written thousands of years ago. It's nonsense. And it is nonsense. But the challenge that I want to leave us with today is in owning our 50 feet. Are we willing to present the good news, even though it's nonsense? And the thing is that nobody believed it except for one guy in verse 12, Peter. Peter, the biggest skeptic of them all, had to go see if what they were saying was really true. And so that's the challenge today. Are you willing to own your 50 feet? Are you willing to live out the resurrection power of Jesus, even though it's nonsense? Even though the majority of the group is going to reject you, except for the one skeptic that's going to go do his own research. Are you willing to preach the gospel to people, knowing that it'll change their life? But the reality of it is they may look at you and be like, that's nonsense. I don't believe you. And the challenge that I want to leave us with today is to do it anyway. And that's even hard for me. I have a hard time because I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be looked at by a group of people thinking, you're weird, that's just nonsense, even though I've sold my life out to it. And so the challenge for us today is to own our 50 feet, even though it is truly nonsense.